128. 128. That's all it takes.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
And what's your excuse?
I haven't found anyone to marry.
128. Then they're cute. They're cute. And if you want to be more expensive, they're over here. Which I wouldn't want that one either. That's all it takes.
Girlfriend duties versus wife duties. Okay, how do you know that you're doing the girlfriend thing right? Especially if you're a lady who wants to end up married to the guy that you're dating. The guy who's calling you his girlfriend, how do you know that you're doing the girlfriend stuff the right way? Especially if you want to end up as the missus. Huh? Are you doing too much? Have you heard people say that you're doing too much or you don't do enough? Or maybe, how about the gaslighty, you pick wrong or you should pick better or you ask the wrong questions? Have you heard that there's actually like books, right? There's a genre of books with questions that you're supposed to rattle through during your courtship, during dates to get to know the person so that you maximize your chances of getting the ring, right? I've got one, but see ring. Yeah, so it's the way to a man's heart and the ring and signing on the dotted line through a full stomach or empty balls or both, who knows. Okay, first let's watch this video and then we'll come back and do reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Did y'all see that video of that lady in Walmart begging this man to marry her? They were in the jewelry aisle and she was like, this ring is only $128. And you could hear like the sadness and desperation and frustration in her voice. And the dude was kind of having a smirk on his face like, well, I don't have anybody to ask, so why am I going to buy an engagement ring? Like, it just, yikes. Because allegedly she has 3 kids with this man. And whether he's making a joke or not, that's yikes. Wow. Talk about sleeping with the enemy. It just seems like she has not accepted the fact of reality, which is this man has no intentions of ever marrying her. He doesn't want to marry her. He don't want her. And at this point, he's probably just with her so that he doesn't have to pay child support. She doesn't realize it, but when she realizes it, it's going to hit her like a ton of bricks. As a person who herself got pregnant before I was married, let me just tell you, I know what I'm talking about on this one. I hope I don't come off overly judgy, but it's a reason why so many cultures and religions and stuff tell you, be careful, not to put the cart before the horse. Try not to get pregnant before you get, seal the deal with somebody, because, and not that that's going to always protect you. Bad stuff can happen after you marry somebody. I mean, they can still lie to you, cheat, do or whatever. But you don't want to be in that situation where the dynamic of your relationship has changed and now you're on this frequency of desperation. Like, is he ever going to ask me? You're never going to get a moment's peace. You're always going to be like anticipating, hoping, waiting, and then you start to beg. And you see some people that resort to asking the guy because it's just taking too long and they just feel like he's never going to ask. So they have to go ask him. And the reason why I feel that we're told not to do that is because even back in them Bible days, some of these men were on some F-boy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know the nature, the heart and mind of a man and some of the things that they're likely to do in certain situations. And that situation, they're like, okay, if you don't want to be finding yourself maybe in a precarious situation, avoid doing this. And though my particular situation worked out, I acknowledge that having the child first with the guy and then kind of hoping for a ring is taking the hard risk, okay? It's 50-50, and maybe the odds are worse than that. But, I've seen a lot of people who had the baby first, they got married, they stayed married, everything worked out. They just didn't want to rush into a marriage because they got pregnant. Because those relationships don't work out either. With a lot of others, they will waste your time, and there are men that will stay with you just because they don't want to have to pay child support, okay? Or just because they enjoy having on tap, in-house, where they don't have to pay or go out to get it. You're all too happy to provide that for him. So what was my point in making this? It's just to let you know, There are some men out there who will lay down, have kids with you, kid after kid after kid, and do not like you, does not want to be with you. You're just convenient. And I'm sorry to say, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It doesn't. It just means that you are not what he feels is the tops for him. You're not a fit for him. Or as old people used to call it, unequally yoked. He's looking for something else. And men have this ability sometimes to be with a woman, have kids with a woman, live with a woman, and even marry a woman he doesn't truly want to be with, and be keeping one eye open looking for the woman he really wants to be with. That's why you see women doing all this stuff for men, and after years and years and years, they leave her and marry somebody else within 6 months. It's because they was with her, but they never really saw it for her for real. So, you know, I didn't make the video to down this woman. I know there's a lot of women out here going through similar, and they feel the similar way. And I'm just saying, don't feel like it's something wrong with you. It's not. Okay, you just ended up with the wrong dude. You had a kid with the wrong dude. Don't make it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids. Okay, once you figure it out, be out. Okay, because I feel like to a certain extent, there's some men that's sick enough that they use kids on purpose to keep you bound and keep you stuck. Kids are a blessing, but there are definitely men who will use them to keep you stuck.
Hi, welcome back. Well, welcome to the channel. I know it's been a while. Sorry. It's like almost mid-June, and I hadn't checked in, I hadn't said hi, I hadn't done nothing. So rude. I was moving, y'all.
Here we go. Pivot. Pivot. Pivot.
And it's only now that I'm starting to unpack. I'm starting to settle into the new space. You see the brick face behind me? Yeah, as part of the ambiance of the new place that I'm in and trying to make a home of it. I'm still unpacking, still looking for my spatulas.
Come on, man.
I just need a...
This is the lamb.
Where's the lamb sauce?
Still grieving over all the awesome stuff I had to chuck out to make way for the new. Out with the old, in with the new. I did not want to take certain old energy into the new place, but I wanted to bring you guys along. I'm glad you're here. Right, let's get to today's topic, shall we?
There's a woman at Walmart standing next to her man, begging him to buy a $128 ring or less in value, and he refuses to do it. The reason that he gives is, I haven't found anyone to marry.
How about it? That's today's topic. What are girlfriend duties versus wife duties? Yes, I admit, I've been in the groups, I've been on social media, and I went hunting. And I found this, it's so interesting, it's so topical. You know how for women who are in relationships, who want to be married, who want to be booed up long term, you want the ring, you want to sign on the dotted line, and you're always wondering, what's the magic formula to get this man to propose, to ask me to marry him? Am I doing enough as a girlfriend? What am I supposed to be doing as a girlfriend? Do I just sit there, wave and smile? What's a girlfriend supposed to do? What's a wife supposed to do?
Happy wife, happy life.
Is it even worth it to want to be a wife? Is everybody doing the girlfriend stuff the wrong way, the right way, which way, how? Who knows? So I went into the groups and I found this topic and my interest was piqued. And I'm here to share it with you. But first,
I'd like to begin the presentation. But first,
get your bingo card, because what we do with reading, writing, and arithmetic is we go through the top 10 reacted, rated comments, and we see if there's consensus, we see if we can learn something, we see if we can just, find out the answers to the question, right? So get your bingo card, and here are the bingo numbers: 123, 81, 9, 66, 61, 58, 28, 16, and 18. And your combo or power number is 4. That's for you statisticians and mathematicians. You find what you do with the number 4. Anyway, let's get right into it.
128. 128. That's all it takes. And what's your excuse?
I haven't found anyone to marry.
128. And they're cute.
So for today's program in reading, writing, and arithmetic, Those are the numbers of the highest rated reactions to the question of girlfriend duties versus wife duties. Let's go through them right now. Coming in with 123 reactions, likes and loves about the wife and girlfriend duties. The wife cooks, cleans, shares in other household duties, has children, makes major life-changing and financial decisions with husband. Girlfriend, wait for it, goes on dates and vacations. And then someone comes in at 10 comments and says, 10 reactions says, so with this example, how does one get from girlfriend to wife status? Which is the question that we're all asking, right? Like, how do you make the jump from girlfriend to wife, without doing too much and avoiding doing too little, because that probably won't get you from this state to that state, right? 81 says, with a ring and a pronouncement from the wedding officiant, I now pronounce you man and wife. I had to ha that one. Yeah, I really had to ha that one. But do you see that there's dichotomy, right? A wild dichotomy between major life decisions, financial decisions, such as a mortgage, such as getting all these things like having children and running a household, and here's a girlfriend taking vacations and going on dates, right? There's this serious dichotomy, and a part of me wonders, like, why would you want to go from going on dates and vacations to making major decisions, signing on a mortgage and bearing children? Not that I'm against children or anything, but help me reconcile this wild and wide gap between going on dates and vacations and being lumped with a co-payment.
You want a vacation, you can take as much time off as you want. A week, 2, a month, or even more.
For medical insurance, a co-payment for a mortgage, and children's routines, and knowing their birthdays and their allergies and that kind of things. And I don't know, marriage isn't really making a good case for itself here. But let's go on. Second slide. Have a look at the comment with 5, right? With 5 reactions. This lady says, so girlfriends' houses must be dirty and she and her kids, if she has any, must starve. Because we're going back to what the other lady said, the highly rated 123 comments or likes or reactions that says that a wife cooks and cleans and bears children and whatever, and a girlfriend just goes on vacation and whatever. Of course, there's always going to be someone with no nuance, right? But that is why this question was asked, because how do you go from, goddess braids in Aruba on holiday, on vacation, to moving house and unpacking, looking for spatulas, looking for medication, looking for my furry slippers or the husband's furry slippers or whatever? How do you reconcile that, right? Of course, girlfriends will be cooking and cleaning and whatever. Let's not be going around with no nuance, because that's kind of crazy. But have a look at this, right? A bunch of people will say that there's no formula.
I want it to be magical, and I'm realizing that it's hard to plan something to be magical,
To landing the relationship that makes you, that you find yourself walking down the aisle and having someone slide a ring or wrench a ring down your finger, that kind of thing. Have a look at the comment with 66 reactions. It says, whatever you choose to do. Have you heard that there's no formula to relationships? Have you heard that successful, someone will say,
Is it better to be smart or lucky?
What's the formula for a successful marriage? Some will say the woman has to take bullshit and keep quiet. Some will say that a man shouldn't be with a woman who's been to school, who's wide awake and aware and self-aware and actualizing and whatever. There's all sorts of weird formulae out there, right? Since we're doing reading, writing, arithmetic, right? There's weird formulas out there, but look at the 66 likes and loves for whatever you choose to do. Doesn't that bamboozle you? Doesn't that bamboozle you? Like, okay, so why is there all this talk about you do too much? Don't be cooking, cleaning for a man when you don't have a ring. Why is there talk that you don't do too little? Did you see the video about the man who was saying that if your girlfriend comes to your place and she doesn't cook, she doesn't clean the place, then you should marry her? Do you see how frustrating it is for someone, not me, couldn't be me, who's wondering how to get from girlfriend to wife and what she should do, who she should be, who she should not be, right? Is it making any sense? Are we learning anything? Who knows? At least we're entertained, right? I hope you are. Next slide. Have a look. There's more. The wife takes care of the house, home, and family. And the girlfriend, take care of myself while having fun with significant other. 61 reactions. They like it. They love it. Here's a lady at 58 coming in with a different take. She says, me showing my husband everything I had to offer ahead of time got me a ring. I gave a set time limit and expectation of when I wanted to be married. I'm not doing wifey things forever without a ring, but you're doing them, huh? But I don't mind showing what he will get with me for a lifetime. Free trial don't last forever. 58 reactions, right? So that sounds like auditioning. And some of the ladies in the comments also said that sounds like auditioning. I'm not auditioning to be a slave. There were other comments that said marriage sounds like slavery at this point, you know? And this lady, I have to give it to her. I have to play devil's advocate here.
Marge, may I play devil's advocate for a moment?
Sure, go ahead.
Come on. Get in there. Go! Stupid game.
It seems reasoned, right? It seemed like a reasoned comment to me that you do something, but you're not doing it forever, like the lady in the video that we watched just before we started all this discussion, all this calculating and reading and writing and comprehension. She's been with this man for 11 years, 3 children in, right? And he hasn't proposed. He's not taking it to the next level because he hasn't found someone he wants to marry. In her case, obviously she's done too much. You know, 3 heads in, 11 years, and you're begging for a $128 ring from Walmart? Just $128, she said. Yeah, so I get what this lady's saying, that there's balance. Show him what he can get, but don't do it friggin' for forever.
Because I want you. I want all of you forever. You and me, every day.
Don't be the 20 years long girlfriend, a girlfriend for 20 years, fiance for 35, begging for a Walmart ring. Set a time limit. If you're gonna perform, okay, but set a limit to it.
You know, of course there's limitations.
Set a time limit to it and probably set some limits to it. Let there be some things that you tell yourself, this stuff I'm gonna give to my husband, right? I think it's fair, yeah? How's it going? Are you ticking your bingo card? Is somebody gonna win the Powerball today? I sure hope so, because I don't know if these ladies are gonna get their rings or not. At least somebody wins some money, honey. Next slide.
There is a woman at Walmart standing next to her man, begging him to buy a $128 ring or less in value, and he refuses to do it. The reason that he gives is, I haven't found anyone to marry. Which is a big slap in the face to her because she's had 3 of his kids before he said that statement. Finally. Long story short, there are worse fates out there than dying alone. There's a worse fate than being a cat lady. And the crazy thing is, the fate that is worse than dying alone or being a cat lady involves being with a man. Oh, I hope that girl wakes up soon. I hope she wakes up soon, but you know, it's gonna take a whole lot of adrenaline to do it because, girl, what? I'll be damned.
Psych. There's no slide. We're at the end of the video. So, back to what we were saying. Just from looking at these comments, right? It seems like there's this quantum leap that someone has to take from being a girlfriend who's on vacation in the Florida Keys or in Reno or in the south of France to being a wife who's signing these documents, who knows the children's schedules, carpooling, going to their soccer games, becoming a soccer mom. And why is there this wild difference? You know, isn't it possible that there can be a balance, that you can be someone who's cherished, who's enjoying vacations with her man, with your ring, whilst also balancing a checkbook and knowing who's allergic to what and what's for dinner, hon? What's being left unsaid, right? Because this wild gap here needs some bridging. You know, it shouldn't be a mystery. Marriage, or whoever you choose to end up married to, can affect a bunch of decisions that you make for the next, I don't know, 30, 40 years that you live with them and outlast them, maybe, if you're a woman or whatever. And it's important that you pick the right person. And while you're picking, you're not slaving, you're not getting yourself into this illegal slavery, you're not auditioning, and you're certainly not 11 years in, 3 children in a minivan in, and you're begging for a Walmart ring. I'm wondering, I'm like, where's the middle ground? But I don't know. You let me know what you think in the comments. Did you get at least 4 numbers on your bingo card? Was somebody lucky today? The moon was in Gemini. That's a good omen. The moon was in Gemini a few days ago. I've got a few placements in Gemini. That's what makes me mutable. I hope somebody got a few numbers. I hope we're entertained, at least picking some people's brains and finding out, can there be a balance? How can I get the ring? How can I secure the bag? Hey, I'm done. Hey, I'm not a girlfriend or a wife. I'm me. I'm Mutable Magic. Next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.